I'm not sure Ange's bothered. I think it's like this way or the highway. It lasted about half an hour. It was good. It was better than watching Coronation Street. Did you get a call about managing Man United as well? Because I did.
I think I was the only one that didn't. Hello and welcome to the panel. My name's Matthew Christ and it's another episode of Premier League Predictions. Now, regular viewers don't adjust your sets. Brian hasn't had a haircut or trimmed his beard, and we certainly haven't sacked him after a dismal performance last week. Brian's actually on international duty this week, but we've had to call on a substitute. But what talent to bring off the bench. It's a pleasure to welcome a man who made over 350 appearances for Liverpool and in that time won 5 league titles, an FA Cup and a European Cup, and also represented the Republic of Ireland 39 times. It's Mark Lawrenson. Mark, thanks for joining us. Welcome to the show.
Absolute pleasure.
Right, okay, no pressure here. Brian's doing okay so far this season. I think he got 7 corrects last week even, so there's no pressure on you, but let's see how you get on this week.
All right.
We start on Saturday at 12:30 with Newcastle against Arsenal. How do you see this one going?
Oh, wow. After the games as well, over the weekends with the two of them, I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. Although not convinced by Newcastle. Obviously, defensively, they're missing 2 of the better centre-backs, aren't they? But yeah, I'll go for that.
What do you make of Arsenal this season? People are talking about them as title contenders. Obviously, they faced your old club last week, Liverpool, and got a creditable draw. Do you think they're the real thing? Or
Yeah, I do. The 3 are the 3, aren't they? I mean, there's no getting away from that. I thought Liverpool actually against them were quite ordinary last week, but if you'd said to Slot, you'll get a point from the game, you would have taken it. But no, there's a little bit more kind of aggression about Arsenal, and I think it's controlled aggression, whereas, surrounding the referee last year and all those kind of things, I think that it looks like they're growing up a little bit. And I just think they've got a real chance of winning it.
Okay, well, one of the teams that have to beat if they do win it is Manchester City, and they feature in the first of our 3 o'clock games on Saturday. They travel to the South Coast and play Bournemouth.
Yeah, and everybody recognises now Bournemouth are a tricky team to play against, especially at home. One of the better foreign managers as well. But it's City, and they come up with a way of winning, as we saw the other week with the very last minute, was it, at Wolves, wasn't it? So I'm going to go for that 0-2 for City.
Okay, so you predict City to roll on. And the next game on Saturday is Ipswich Town versus Leicester City. What are your thoughts on this one?
Well, a bit of a battle of the basement, isn't it? I mean, Ipswich's game last week was just mad. It's a great watch, but it was just mad. But I'm going to go for them it would be the first home win. Would that be right for Ipswich? So yeah. I'll go 2-1 for Ipswich.
Okay, expected Ipswich to get off the mark at home, and that brings us on nicely to the game at Anfield, a 3 o'clock game. A meeting of 2 of your former clubs. At Anfield, it's Liverpool versus Brighton. What are your thoughts here?
Well, I think Liverpool have done extremely well, and everyone says, what about Arne Slot? We don't really know yet, because the shoes he fell into were brilliant. He went his first day when he sat down in his office and looked around everyone and thought, oh my God, I mean, all I need to do is pick the team properly. Don't have too many injuries, and we're fine. So it's Brighton, who are decent so far, but I'll go 3-1 to Liverpool.
Yeah, I mean, you touched on Slot there. I mean, it's interesting to have a former Liverpool player who's worked under the best coaches in the game down the years. What do you think that this smooth transition's been about? Is it about him just not doing too much, not changing too much, just coming in, tweaking things?
100%. Or tinkering, which one you want to. He's looked at all the players and thought, oh my goodness, he's got 6 strikers. He's got 3 outstanding players in midfield, Trent as well. He threw all, Van Dijk, all those people in, and it's not broken. It doesn't need fixing. It might need a bit of oiling now and again, but no, they will just keep running along. And he's just got himself an absolutely fantastic job. And I think also he's different from Klopp, obviously, because he's not in your face. But I think behind that kind of exterior, which looks like he's just a nice man, I think as well, I think he can probably give it to the players at times, which you need.
Yeah, we'll probably see that as the season goes on. He's had a nice start, but I imagine as the season goes on, there'll probably be times when he does need to get a little bit angry.
Well, occasionally you've got to throw the odd hand grenade in the dressing room, haven't you? And just tell people exactly what they need to do.
Yep. Okay, we shall see. Now, on to Nottingham Forest, West Ham, another 3 o'clock Saturday.
West Ham have picked up, haven't they? But I like Forest. There's something about Forest now. And I think they're steely and they're difficult to play against. They don't mind taking bookings all over. I'll go for, and it's West Ham, who obviously good result against Man United. I'll go 2-1 to Forest.
Okay. And the last of the 3 o'clock games on Saturday is Southampton versus Everton, a slightly rejuvenated Everton, you could say.
Yeah. He's a good manager, Sean Dyche. And I hope they stay up. Even being an ex-Liverpool player, I hope they stay up. I think he's the right man for the job as well there. Who did we say Everton were playing?
It's Southampton away.
Southampton away. Well, yeah. So Martin needs a win, doesn't he? And I'm going to give him one. I'm going to go for a 2-1 Southampton, which I like the way that he plays, Russell Martin, and I hope he stays in his job. I know that they won in the Carabao, didn't they? So, yeah, I just hope he stays in the division, because I saw them play last year at Anfield and they outplayed Liverpool and they got beat in the Carabao that particular night, but they absolutely outplayed Liverpool. So I think there's somewhere in there which might just keep them in the division.
Okay, so you're going for Southampton's first win in the season against Everton on Saturday. Now that brings us to half-time in this week's Premier League predictions. While myself and Lauro talk tactics for a few minutes, we'll take a short break and we'll be right back. Hello and welcome back to the panel's Premier League predictions, this week featuring Mark Lawrenson. And we're on to the 5:30 game on Saturday, which is Wolves versus Crystal Palace. Laura, how do you see this one going?
Oh, it's got to be home win for Wolves, surely. And I like the way that, when we had the 2-week break not too long ago, if Wolves are going to get rid of the manager, they would have done it then, because he would have had 2 weeks, obviously, to look for a manager. I'm going 2-0 against Palace, who they've started to play a little bit better, but I'm not convinced away from home with Palace.
Yeah, two struggling teams. I mean, Wolves came back from 2 down, didn't they, last week against Brighton, which would have given them a boost. And Palace beat Tottenham, which was their first win of the season. So I suppose both teams will be thinking they've got something to build on from last week, so something's got to give.
Yeah, I would think so. And I think it'd be quite a good game, actually, because, I wouldn't say the pressure's off, but in terms of players, both, as you rightly say, both teams will think that they can win the match, certainly.
Okay, that takes us on to Sunday's game or games, and the first one up is a tasty-looking affair at what used to be White Hart Lane, Tottenham Stadium. It's Spurs versus Aston Villa. What do you see here?
In your age, Spurs versus Aston Villa will be a home win for Spurs, because they win at home, don't they? Just can't win away. Be a good game though. Villa, very, very good side. Very, very good side. Very impressed with their manager, as everyone else is. I'm going to go for this. Because there'll be goals. 3-2 Tottenham.
Okay. I mean, if that was to come in, that would take some pressure off Ange Postecoglou, who's feeling a little bit of heat, I think. Yeah. Fair to say.
Bothered? Do you think? I'm not sure Ange is bothered. I think it's like his way or the highway. I like him. I love his press conferences because he's just so honest and says it as he sees it. But we know with Tottenham that, they can win 3 and then go and lose 3. That's just the way that they are. It's the way that Tottenham are.
Yeah, and he obviously put a little bit of pressure on himself, telling everyone that he usually wins or he always wins something in his second season. So
yeah, but the thing about that is, it's true, isn't it?
Yeah,
I saw that interview, and what he said was actually true. He just went, well, in the second season I win a trophy, and he had, and I mean, I thought it lasted about half an hour. It was good. It was better than watching Coronation Street.
Yeah. And like you say, it's not like he said, I'm going to win a trophy.
No.
He said, I do win I have won a trophy. So the media have made of it what they want, I think is the best way to describe that. But
Yeah.
we shall see. As I always say every week, we shall see. And the final game on Sunday is, well, it's always a big one. It seems bigger this time around. It's Manchester United versus Chelsea. Manchester United currently under a temporary charge of Ruud van Nistelrooy, but who knows who will be on the bench come Sunday. What are your thoughts?
Well, we know what happens, don't we? Manager gets sacked. The assistant takes over and wins 2-0. And then, of course, everyone will be, well, is he going to get the job? But it doesn't look like he is it Van Nistelrooy? But we'll wait and see. I think it was only a matter of time with Ten Hag. And to be honest with you, and it's easy for me to say, I thought when they came back to him in the summer, the owners, I thought when they said, oh, well, you can stay another year or whatever, I think he should have said, you know what, stuff it. Absolutely stuff it. Because did you get a call about managing Man United as well? Because I did. So,
I think I was the only one that didn't.
All right, okay. But it was absolutely ridiculous. And they undermined him. He's not done a particularly good job, but they seriously undermined him. But I think it's an absolute guaranteed win for Man United. So Chelsea at the weekend, good going forward, but defensively still a lot to do.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that because people are looking at Chelsea and saying, well, they're maybe dark horses. They're impressing people. They're looking like they could pose a threat, but you're not convinced, no?
No, not yet. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think they might end up 6th or 7th, to be honest with you. But looking at them, even Newcastle was struggling to create chances and score goals, had opportunities against them. And I think that's where Chelsea's problems are going to be for a while.
Yeah. Okay. So what was your score prediction on this one?
I don't know because I probably didn't give you one because I was rattling on. I'm going to go Man U 2-0.
Okay. So it's 2-0 United. And we've got a Monday night game. It's a London derby, as there is every week. It's Fulham versus Brentford.
I like both clubs, me. I would have loved to have played for Fulham at the end of my career. It's just one of those places, Craven Cottage. It's just, there's something about it. Both got very good managers as well, but it's Fulham at home. Brentford don't travel particularly well. 2-1 to Fulham.
Okay, you're going with 2-1 Fulham. Fulham are doing a decent job, aren't they? They probably class themselves as being unlucky not to grab all 3 points away at Everton last week with a last-minute equaliser, but I think they'll be happy with what they're getting out of their side this season.
Well, and losing William as well because, we know what a good player that he was. And also they lost a midfield player, didn't they? The destroyer, as it were. So, no, I think they're very well managed. I think they're both very well managed. I saw Thomas Frank yesterday when they were interviewing him about Man United, and he was like a class act. But, I think both clubs will be fine.
Okay. That brings us to the end of this week's Premier League predictions from the panel, featuring our special guest this week, our super sub, Mark Lawrenson. Don't forget to let us know what you think by giving us your comments below, and we'll see how Laura gets on, and we'll be back next week with more Premier League predictions. We'll see you then.